Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Before continuing, please review the legal disclaimer provided in the comments section of this video and make sure to see the video till the end to get a full understanding of how it all works. On this channel, we share practical guidance on visa processes, immigration pathways, investment and citizenship options, and related topics to help you make informed decisions. If you are unsure about your visa options or planning your next step, consider subscribing and enabling notifications so you stay updated with the latest developments. Right now, somewhere in the world, a person is staring at a crowded city skyline, wondering one thing: is this really the life I want forever? Constant stress, constant pressure, constant noise, constant rushing, and increasingly, people are searching for something completely different. Not just another country, but another way of living. And in the middle of the South Pacific, one destination keeps quietly entering those conversations: the Cook Islands, a tropical island nation surrounded by turquoise lagoons, volcanic landscapes, small, close-knit communities, and a pace of life that feels almost disconnected from the modern world. But here is where things become interesting. Most people think moving to the Cook Islands is simple. They assume you can just arrive and stay. But the reality is far more structured. Because the Cook Islands has controlled residence systems, strict immigration pathways, and carefully managed long-term stay rules. And if you misunderstand those systems, you can waste years chasing the wrong pathway. So in this full deep dive, we are breaking down everything you need to know about residence visa pathways for the Cook Islands from a global applicant perspective in 2026. The real pathways, how the system works, who can qualify, the difference between temporary residence and permanent residence, work permits, business pathways, family pathways, long-term stay realities, and the hidden truths most people only discover after they arrive. Stay until the end because the final section explains the one factor that determines whether people actually succeed long-term in the Cook Islands. Let's begin. First, you need to understand the foundation. The Cook Islands is not a mass migration country. It is not designed like large immigration systems where huge numbers of people relocate every year. Instead, the Cook Islands controls long-term residents very carefully. This means every pathway is tied to a purpose: employment, family connection, business activity, investment, or approved long-term stay circumstances. That is the core structure of the entire system. Now let's break down the first major pathway: employment-based residence. This is one of the most common ways foreign nationals legally live in the Cook Islands long-term. Here is how it usually works. A local employer identifies a role that needs to be filled. The employer then supports a foreign worker application. Once approved, the individual receives permission to live and work in the Cook Islands under defined employment conditions. But here is the critical reality. This is not unrestricted residency. Your legal stay is connected directly to your job, meaning if the employment ends, your immigration status may also be affected. And this is one of the biggest misunderstandings globally. People often confuse work permits with permanent residency. They are not the same thing. A work-linked residence pathway is conditional. Now let's talk about the types of industries where foreign workers may sometimes find opportunities: tourism and hospitality, construction, marine sectors, healthcare support, skilled trades, education, business operations, specialized technical services. Because the Cook Islands economy is relatively small, the labor market itself is also limited, which means opportunities exist, but they are selective. Now let's move into the second major pathway: family and spouse-based residence. This pathway becomes relevant when a person has close family connections within the Cook Islands, most commonly through marriage or partnership. This is one of the more stable pathways because it is based on long-term personal connection rather than employment cycles. But approval still requires evidence. Authorities usually assess whether the relationship is genuine, stable, and properly documented. Shared life arrangements, relationship history, financial support, identity documentation, and long-term plans together. All of these factors matter. Now, here comes something important. Marriage alone does not automatically guarantee unrestricted permanent residency forever. The process still involves immigration assessment and compliance. Now let's move into the third pathway: long-term temporary residence arrangements. This is where many global applicants first enter the system. They initially arrive as tourists, then later apply for extended lawful stay under approved circumstances. This pathway may involve long-term family visits, lifestyle stays, project involvement, volunteer or community work, research activities, or special personal circumstances. But here is the key distinction: extended stay permission is not permanent residency. It is temporary authorization to remain longer under approved conditions, and approvals are discretionary, meaning every case is evaluated individually. Now let's talk about business and investment pathways, because this is where global interest often increases dramatically. Many people imagine buying property or investing automatically grants residency rights. But the Cook Island system does not operate like some countries offering easy passive residency by investment programs. Instead, business-linked residence is connected to genuine economic activity. Applicants may need to demonstrate a legitimate business purpose, financial capacity, operational planning, compliance with local regulations, and contribution to the local economy. This means immigration authorities generally look for real involvement rather than symbolic investment. Now let's discuss one of the most important topics: permanent residence. Because this is where expectations must become realistic. Permanent residence in the Cook Islands is selective, it is not automatic, and it is not unlimited. Applicants are usually assessed carefully based on long-term connection, contribution, suitability, and compliance history. This is not a fast-track, casual process. Now, here comes something many people do not realize. Permanent residence does not necessarily mean you can disappear forever and keep status automatically forever. Long-term absence from the Cook Islands may affect resident status in some circumstances, meaning physical connection to the islands still matters. Now let's talk about documentation, because this is where many applications become delayed. Typical documentation requirements may include valid passport, police clearance certificates, medical checks where required, employment agreements, financial evidence, relationship evidence for spouse pathways, business documents for investor pathways, and supporting statements explaining purpose of stay. Consistency across all documents is critical. Contradictions create problems immediately. Now let's discuss one of the biggest hidden realities: the Cook Islands lifestyle itself. Because many people romanticize island life without understanding daily reality. Yes, the beaches are beautiful. Yes, the scenery is extraordinary. Yes, the lifestyle can feel peaceful, but island living also comes with limitations. Smaller infrastructure, limited healthcare scale compared to larger countries, higher import costs, limited shopping variety, smaller job markets, slower administrative systems, and geographic isolation. For some people, this becomes paradise. For others, it becomes frustrating very quickly. Now let's talk about cost of living. This surprises many applicants. Island living is often more expensive than people expect. Imported goods cost more. Housing availability can be limited. Utilities and logistics can become expensive, so financial preparation matters enormously. Now let's discuss who these pathways are actually designed for. Generally, the Cook Islands resident system works best for people with genuine employment opportunities, individuals with strong family ties, entrepreneurs building real businesses, long-term lifestyle seekers, retirees with stable financial support, and individuals seeking slower community-oriented living. It is not designed for unrestricted mass migration. Now let's address one of the biggest misconceptions globally. Some people assume the Cook Islands functions exactly like New Zealand for immigration purposes, but the Cook Islands maintains its own immigration and residence framework, and understanding that distinction is essential. Now let's talk about the single most important factor in the entire process: purpose alignment. This is the hidden key that decides everything. Not just money, not just paperwork, not just qualifications, but whether your reason for living in the Cook Islands genuinely fits a lawful and realistic pathway. If your purpose is clear, structured, and genuine, your application becomes stronger. If your purpose feels vague, inconsistent, or unrealistic, problems begin. Now let's talk about long-term success, because obtaining residence is only the beginning. The real question is whether you can actually adapt to island life long-term. Can you handle slower systems? Can you adapt to a smaller community? Can you live far from major global cities? Can you embrace simplicity? Can you build meaningful local relationships? Because people who succeed in island environments usually succeed socially and emotionally, not just legally. Now let's look toward the future. The Cook Islands continues balancing several priorities at the same time: economic development, tourism growth, protection of local culture, housing pressures, environmental sustainability, and immigration management, which means residence pathways are likely to remain carefully controlled rather than fully open, and this makes strategic planning even more important for future applicants. Now, here is the final message. The Cook Islands is not simply selling a residency destination, it is offering a completely different lifestyle reality. And the people who truly thrive there are usually not the ones chasing shortcuts or fantasy lifestyles. They are the people who genuinely understand what island living means: slower pace, smaller communities, closer connection to nature, and a life that operates very differently from the modern urban world. Because in the end, residence is not just about getting permission to stay somewhere. It is about whether the life waiting there actually matches the future you want to build. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, because we break down real immigration pathways, real strategies, and real insights so you can make the right decisions without falling into common traps. And our expert team and associates can assist you to simplify this entire complex process and guide you from start to finish with complete peace of mind. Do get in touch with us now on our WhatsApp mobile number +642217860007, also provided in the comment section of this video, and we will get in touch with you as soon as possible. Your journey deserves the right start, and it starts with the right consultation, and now you have it. Thank you for watching.